it's my use, the Lebanese Soul Diva. They call me LSD. And this is Soul Diva Confessions, part 11. And today I want to talk about authenticity, the ego, and love is blind, Habibi. So I just got back to Los Angeles. I was in San Diego for the past week after the fires broke out in LA. I kind of just like ghosted my job and went to San Diego. Alhamdulillah, it was such a blessing because for those of you who are new here, I am a music artist. I make Arabic fusion soul music, and I was able to like finish my website and finish my EPK and just get all of my performance materials ready so I can actually perform for the community this year. And the air quality, like here we are, like I'm in my car, I'm in LA outside of my beautiful house, and here's the view. This is the view on my street. I absolutely love this street so much. I'm so blessed to live here. I actually wanted to live here so badly for some reason. Like when I found this apartment, even though it's not the perfect apartment by any means, I wanted to live here so badly and I had no idea why. And then a few months later, I discovered that one of the girls in my community lives literally right next door, like shares a wall. So she is my Jiran now, and honestly, she's been my rock and my like just family for the past like 4 months since we discovered we were neighbors. I'm actually going to volunteer right now. I'm meeting up with her, and she's been really like on the front lines of this. So shout out to you, girl. I'm not gonna say your name because I don't want to expose where you live. I didn't expose where I live, but shout out to you. I love you. I'm hoping this will be a quick episode today because I do have to get going, but I wanted to talk about ego and authenticity and Love is Blind, Habibi. So I'm just gonna start by talking about Love is Blind, Habibi because I watched it over this past week when I was just like tambale doing nothing in San Diego. I started watching it with my brother and then finished watching it with my best friend who isn't even Arab. Like she's a Jewish girl, and we were staying at like her grandparents' house over the weekend. And actually just want to share, like, alhamdulillah, we got the ceasefire agreement in Palestine yesterday. And a memory I'll never forget in San Diego is like when her grandmother, a Jewish woman, like I think descendant of Polish like Jewish immigrants in San Diego, she came to my room and she was like, guess what, they had a ceasefire in Gaza. And she's like this really old, like precious woman, and that was just like the most precious memory to me, and I'll hold that memory close to me forever because yeah, I like grew up around Jewish people, and I grew up around like just Jewish people, and I just hate, it just breaks my heart over and over again how like they're trying to divide us, and Zionism like seeks to divide us, and it's just not gonna work, okay? Like we have this ceasefire and we're gonna continue growing closer. Anyway, Love is Blind, Habibi. So I specifically want to talk about the character Noor because she's not a character, she's actually a real person, which kind of scares me but also triggers me at the same time because like the characteristics that Noor has are things that I kind of identify with, like my shadow side, and like her general like attitude and behaviors is like a trap that I think that I have fallen into from time to time. And I'm actually really grateful to Noor for going on to Love is Blind, Habibi, to really show us firsthand how repellent that behavior is and how non-magnetic that behavior is, and how Noor's ego, and like she calls it her standards, but it's really just like her ego and like her lack of inner healing that keeps her from finding a suitor. And not only does it keep her from finding a suitor, like it causes the masculine to like hate her basically. And I think it's because, like, not only does Noor lack authenticity, like, she hasn't met herself deeply enough. Like, she has an inner wound that is so afraid of love and is so afraid of being her authentic self that she does all these things. Like, she gets her injections and she makes her appearance flawless. Okay, that girl is flawless. Like, every single outfit she has on the show, like, she doesn't miss. She's perfect. She looks perfect. Personally, like, I think she'd be more beautiful if she had a more natural look. But I think I can really identify with her need to be so perfect, and her subconscious belief that if she is perfect, if she's the girl with the best outfit and like the best makeup and the best injections and whatever, I don't have it. I'm au natural. Like, I don't have any work done whatsoever. But if she is perfect, if she can be flawless, then maybe she'll be loved. Or because she's so flawless, she's the obvious choice. When in reality, her character is so repellent. It's so unattractive. And like, I'm a Lebanese diva, right? I am such a diva, but I'm kind of trying to like shift the persona of diva, because when I say like I'm a diva, yes, I do have elements of, and I'm also Lebanese. I'm Lebanese soul diva, okay? I am a Lebanese diva. I like nice things and I like looking perfect and I like having the best outfit, and but I found that over the years, like, while all those things are completely okay, those things aren't what are gonna get you love, like, at all, actually. Because I bet you Noor, deep down, what she doesn't show to the outside world is like, her little baby Noor is like, but I'm perfect. Like, my outfit's perfect. Like, my lip injections are perfect. Why aren't they choosing me? Why didn't Shafiq choose me? Why did Shafiq choose me, Dunya, over me? When, like, clearly, like, okay, Dunya, like, me and my friends, I don't like to make fun of women. I just observed that, like, I don't love Dunya's personal style at all times. Like, I'd be like, but I'm also like, she's 24, so she has so much time for her personal style to evolve. So that was my only like critique of Dunya, was like, she's young, her personal style has yet to evolve to be like the style that would be the best suited to her. But what makes her so magnetic, Dunya, is that she's so authentic. There's something that's so authentic about her. She, you know, she's quirky and she's silly, and like, you know, you can hate on like her voice, and there's so many things about Dunya that you can hate on. And there's not that many things about Noor that you can hate on in terms of like cringeworthiness or whatever. Like, Noor isn't really cringeworthy. Like, she's kind of perfect. And then Dunya, like, by, you know, society standards, is like very cringeworthy. And yet she's the one that gets the guy. Why? Why is Noor so antithesis of magnetic, and Dunya, why is Dunya so magnetic? Dunya is so magnetic because not only does she have standards, she has these quiet, unspoken standards where she's secure enough in who she is as a woman and who her mom raised her as, to just embody her standards and embody her boundaries in a way that it's like unspoken. Like, of course you respect her, of course she has standards, that her standards are so unspoken, in fact, that she just is able to have feminine vulnerability. Her standards are so unspoken, they're so embodied, they're so accounted for, that she doesn't even need to waste her breath communicating her standards the way that Noor does. And I think Noor's need to communicate, Shafiq said this thing at one point where he was like, shoo, and the other women don't have standards, like, into standards tabarik, like, shoo, God bless this man for keeping the street clean. I hope it's not too loud. He's like very close to my car. But I really want to get this message out so I can like go get some celery sticks and volunteer because LA needs me. Also, just in terms, like a side note about ego, I decided this year I'm gonna get into volunteering, and like unfortunately the LA fires were like the perfect opportunity. I kind of made that decision beforehand. I really want to find like a little sister, you know, like a little sister program, and like mentor some teenager, because I honestly don't think I'm fit to be mentoring fully grown women at this stage of my life. Like, I do have a lot of wisdom, but I'm also very, very lost. And I'm still learning to like die to my ego. And I'm still learning to love myself without ego and without external validation and without codependency, you know? Like, I'm really still learning, and I think it's part of my ego and my inner child, like, just wanting self-love, trying to like push out like what I learn and help teach other people, when in reality what I needed to do is just embody those like beliefs and those thoughts. And again, like with Noor, even before I saw the show and I just saw the trailer, I was like, when I heard like, I don't do coffee dates, I don't do walking dates, I don't do last minute dates, I think there was a point in my consciousness and my development where I had this mentality, because I had just been so hurt and kind of settled for the bare minimum, that I thought, okay, now I need the maximum in order, like maximum. She's so maximum, bro. Like, she's so extra. Basically, when Arab people say maximum, it means like you're being extra. I love Arabs. I love Lebanese people. Like, Noor is so annoying. And I'm so sorry. Like, I love you. Astaghfirullah. Like, sorry, Noor. I really hope Noor finds the healing that she needs, because when I look at her, I'm just like, she's a wounded, like, scared baby. And, like, her inner child, like, needs to be loved. And I'm like trying to kind of recover from this as well. I have like recovered from like the entitled attitude. I think when I came to LA, I had like somewhat of an entitled attitude, because again, like, I had been hurt by love so much that I wanted to just be served, you know? Like, I always wanted love and a husband, but I think at some point I was like, okay, love is like not working for me. Let me just like get a man and be a trophy wife, so that I don't have to be vulnerable, and so that I don't have to be the most authentic version of myself. And God, very, very early on, when I got to LA, like, showed me the dichotomy of that. He showed me a man that wasn't like, couldn't necessarily, I don't think, provide all the material wealth, but that like I felt a soul connection to. And then he showed me like all the guys that could provide all these things for me, and like could meet my standards, and like take me on these bougie dates, and just like compliment my outfits, and like appreciate the ego part of myself, appreciate the parts of myself, the shields that I created, in hopes that if I created them and was perfect, then I would get love. And then meeting a man that I don't think like just saw kind of like to my core, like in real love I say defenseless, you saw right through me, like someone that kind of just quickly cut through all those things, the same way that my family cuts through those things, because my family fucking hates the diva, my yush. Like, they hate when I act entitled, and like they're just like, who is this? Like, this is not who we are. Like why are you acting like this? Like, it's so annoying. Like, we do not fuck with you. Like, my family is like my mirror, and my family is like, how did you get like this? But what my family doesn't understand are like the ways that like the ways that the world hurt me and that I lacked deep internal self-validation and internal self-love and unshakable self-love without ego. Ego goes both ways. There's the version of ego that it says, no coffee dates, no walking dates, I have my standards. And then there's the part of ego that says, I'm not good enough. I'm not enough. I need to do all these things in order to be enough. So both of those things are ego. I need this person's validation to be enough. All of those things are ego. They're just really different, opposite extremes of manifestations of ego. And I find that when there's one, there is the opposite. You know, like with light, there is dark. So that's something that I've struggled with, and God is really purging from me, because I want to be more like a dunya. I have had so much defense mechanisms and have hidden my authentic self. And I really think the version of me that's talking to you guys right now is my authentic self. I think every time I show up on Soul Diva Confessions, it's pretty much my authentic self. And I'm really proud of her. I'm really, really proud of this series, because it just is me. And I'm sharing what I'm really going through, and it's very humbling and it's painful. But at least when I'm here, I can show up authentic, even if I'm not necessarily showing up authentic in the world all the time. But yeah, I hope I didn't say like too many times on this video, because I'm trying to purge the filler words from my vocabulary and take more time to speak. So if I do, please forgive me. I'm trying to be more cognizant of my speech impediment and also being authentic at the same time. So not trying to edit out every single like in order to be perfect, because I am growing and I'm not perfect. But I am perfect in God's eyes, and I am whole and perfect in so many ways. And yeah, I'm just really grateful that God is humbling me. I asked him to humble me this year, and I just ask him to help me love myself more and surrender more. Because just seeing somebody like Noor, it scares me. It scares me to my core. It scares me for all the women that look at that and think that that is normal or healthy or divine feminine. And I think we've kind of been tricked into thinking that Noor is the ultimate divine feminine because of her boundaries and her standards, when in reality boundaries and standards are embodied. And there's something, they are unspoken. There's something that a woman experiences in her inner world and then get projected out into her outer world. And people, as within, so without. So people treat you according to who you are on the inside. And so you know that Noor is really suffering on the inside because of how people treat her on the outside. You know, she keeps up a strong front and she maintains her diva attitude because she's strong. She wants to seem strong and above it, and I'm better than this. But God bless her, because I know she is hurting inside. God bless her, and may God grant her and all of us deliverance from our egos.